Hello. Do you know Quentin Tarantino? He's a pretty famous movie director in Hollywood, as I say this. I think he's nearing retirement. So he says he's only going to do one more movie. We'll see. But I think he's done about 10, well, maybe more movies. His most famous movie, Quentin Tarantino, is probably Pulp Fiction. That came out in like 1990, I want to say 1994, 95, something like that. Quite violent. But it was a very interesting movie, very different for its time, but very fast paced. The editing is very quick, lots of witty dialogue, and it was a gangster movie and lots of shooting. Uh, and it had some famous actors at the time. I forget now, but anyway, please look that up. There are a few others that he's done recently. He's done a lot with Brad Pitt. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is one of his movies, fairly recent movies. He did a movie called Jackie Brown. I don't know. Lots. There are lots of movies. Look up Quentin Tarantino. Type that into Google and you'll see. But of course, when you write a movie, I mean, when you make a movie, he's a director, you have to write the movie first, usually. You write what's called the screenplay, which is the script, which are the words that happen, that the characters say, and you maybe describe the scenes. So you're first a writer and then you make the movie. Why is this important? Because he's got some good advice about writing. And if you may not write a movie, but you may want to, in your life, write a story or write something about real life. And you might think, how do I do this? And just out of interest, how does Quentin Tarantino do it? So you can see in the book there are 10 points uh, where Quentin Tarantino talks about it. I'm just going to go over some of them here. You can read it if you want to see. Number one, develop your own writing process. What makes you happy? Are you an early bird or night owl? Find out what works for you. Do you like to work creatively in the morning or late at night? I used to be late at night because that was the only time I had for doing any kind of writing or anything fun. I think I have more energy in the morning. I think most people do, but maybe you're different. Number two, don't confuse the audience. That's a good point. Uh, make it clear what's happening, and that's good advice for any kind of writing. Make it clear what you're talking about, unless you deliberately want them to be confused, but only a little bit. If you're very confused as a reader, you're just going to close the book or stop reading whatever you've written. Don't confuse your audience. I like number three is rewrite scenes from other movies from memory. So if you've seen a great movie, try and write the scene just by thinking about it rather than actually copying it exactly. And you might find you accidentally write a really interesting scene and it's probably different from the original. The same as number four, take old stories and reinvent them. You could take the story of, I don't know, Robin Hood, but change Robin Hood from an outlaw in a forest to somebody working in a bank or something like that. I don't know. It's always interesting to do that. Take old stories, reinvent them somehow. Number five, remove morality from the construction of characters. That means your hero of a story doesn't have to be a good guy or a bad guy. Just be a guy. Right? Everything doesn't have to have a good point and a bad point. I mean, a goodie and a baddie. Um, Number six, write the movie you want to see. Or if you're writing a book, write the book you want to read. Write the email you wish you could get. Right? Don't copy everybody else 100%. Write it the way you want it. Number seven is a difficult one. Think about the subtext. That means although you have written what's going to happen, what are the characters really thinking? What do the characters want from the scene? What do you want? Is it really a story that's a bit deeper than just what meets the eye? What's the real motivation that's not spoken? That's quite difficult. I don't know. Number eight, give your characters moral choices. There must be difficult choices to make. Do I kill him or do I let him live? Oh my God. right? That's for a movie, really. Number 9, write extensive character backstories to help the actors. Wow. So you tell all about a character so they know what that person is like. Number 10 is good advice for everybody doing anything. Love what you do. Then you can't help but write a good movie. Same if you're not writing a movie, if you're writing an email. Enjoy what you're doing, and it will come across in the email or anything you produce. Okay, that's lots of ideas from Quentin Tarantino. You can see in the book there's a picture of Pulp Fiction. That was the movie poster. So you can see what kind of a movie it is just by looking at it, right? And all the famous people in it. Okay. Let's see. I've got 3 questions for you. Number 1, are you an early bird or a night owl? Number 2, what are your favorite movies? Number 3, what would you make your movie about if you had the chance? Okay. Thank you very much. And have a think about those questions. See you next time.